Okay, our question today is, should the name or should the title atheist be used, or should it even exist? I would say no, because there's no reason to have atheists. There's no reason to have a term that says you don't believe in God. We don't have terms that say you don't believe in astrology, or that you know, people who aren't astronomers. We don't have terms for they, and then we don't have terms for other people who don't believe with a certain group or affiliation. So why is it that people who don't believe in a mythological God, they must be, I'm gonna say, ridiculed by being called atheist? Because yes, even I use the term atheist as if it's my title, but at the same time I feel mocked by it. And there's a really good quote that I have by Madeline Corey O'Hare, and this is what she said: "An atheist believes that a hospital should be built instead of a church. An atheist believes that deed must be done instead of a prayer said. An atheist strives for involvement in life and not escape into death. He wants disease conquered, poverty banished, and war eliminated." And that quote, that right there, makes me feel proud. Because if you go back through history, most of our wars that have been casted, apart from territorial wars, you know, Alexander the Great fighting the Persian Empire and the Greeks and all for land, it was all because of religion. And I think some of you have heard of the Crusades, the Middle Ages Crusades. If you've ever seen the movie Ironclad, it's a great depiction of it. Wars like that have been brought up because of religion. So when someone asks you if you're an atheist, and you are, say yes, but that is not what I go by. Because when I say I'm an atheist, I tell them that, well, I'm sorry. If they ask me if I'm an atheist, I'll say yes, but if they ask me what I believe in, I don't say atheism. I say I'm an evolutionary materialist. See, I believe in something. We don't have a name for people who don't believe in evolution. So that just goes right back to the question, why should we have a name or a title for people who don't believe in God or any kind of Christian religion? Thank you. And then, now that, you know, I would ask myself, if I am to be mocked, or by any other people who feel as if atheism, or atheist, is a word that really just shouldn't even exist, there are other words that I would actually come to mind. You know, a lot of times I am asked whether or not I'm atheist. And you know, it's not just a casual ask, it's like I'm being accused of something, I'm being prosecuted. And if I were to answer that question, usually I would say yes, I'm an atheist. But now that, you know, if I were to actually sit down and think about it, you know, what's a better word? What's a word that I could actually say and use that would actually describe the, you know, my personal opinion on the said situation? And I would have to choose agnostic. You know, a word that's derived from the 19th century, and it basically means that a person who cannot believe, you know, a greater power, but, you know, hold on. Basically, agnostic is a person who believes that nothing is known or can be known of the existence or nature of God or of anything beyond material phenomenon. A person who claims neither faith nor disbelief in God. And, you know, that's actually, and that's a really great definition too, because in science, we don't put down Christianity. Some Christians, some scientists do, and I would rather not have them speak on behalf of us all. But science is about learning and understanding. The reason why most of us have a problem with Christianity or other religions is because they reject the power of skepticism. You know, they tell you, do not be skeptic. I said this is so, therefore this is so. But in science, we are skeptic. That's how science is created. You know, we invented the science of astrology, the science of geology. We want to know, we want to explore marine biology, we want to know everything with quantum physics, particle physics, just regular physics. Everything we know is based on that. And then, yeah, it comes to my attention that we are prosecuted as atheists just because we want to be skeptical, because we want to question the authority, and we want to know at the line base of which everything has come upon. So now, if we were to continue on, you know, people say, well, why don't you believe in God? Okay, well, my question is, how do you believe in God? How are you going to say that someone mythical can believe in God? You know, how can you sit there and say that a man in the clouds can actually just form life? And then you have Christians who look atheists and they prosecute us. You know, how do you think that everything can just magically become, you know, multicellular organisms from a unicellular organism? And you know, really, it kind of dumbfounds me because, well, that's not. If you actually stopped and you studied evolution, you know that everything didn't just magically happen. It's a long and complex, you know, series of events going in order. Actually, not even in order, because quantumly everything's stringed together, in and out, out and in. And then when you're asked, well, how do you know evolution is science? It's never been observed, it's never been studied, it's never been seen. Well, you know what, you're right. You are absolutely right. We've never actually observed evolution. But you know what? We've never actually observed gravity. Are you going to sit here and tell me that gravity doesn't exist, but yet we're able to see the effects of gravity? You know, me dropping my pencil on the ground and it doesn't fly off. Us sitting here, standing here, we're not flying off into space. The same thing with evolution. We can see the products of evolution. We have the fossils, we have the evidence. All Christianity or other religions have are books, written documents that honestly, in my opinion, okay, don't call me word for word on this as a fact, but in my opinion, I think those books have been warped or changed, you know, modified so much. And I'm sure people will kind of understand, because I'm sure you've all heard of the Chinese whisper line. I think that's what has happened with a lot of religions that we have today.